AITA for telling my husband he ruined our honeymoon? Where do I even begin? I feel like I'm going crazy, and maybe writing this down will help me get some perspective because I genuinely don't know if I'm overreacting. Part of me feels like I'm being too dramatic, but the other part of me, well, I'm hurt, and I feel like my feelings are being completely dismissed. Anyway, here's what happened. Maybe some of you have been through something similar. My husband and I just got back from what was supposed to be our dream honeymoon. You know how it is when you first get married. You imagine everything will be perfect, like in those rom-coms where the newlyweds are all over each other, having the time of their lives on some secluded beach, without a care in the world. That's what I pictured. We've been talking about this honeymoon for months, carefully planning every detail. We picked a stunning location, beautiful beaches, luxurious resorts, just the two of us. I thought it was going to be the perfect way to start our married life. But it turned out to be anything but that. A few weeks before the wedding, my husband, let's call him M, started casually mentioning how it could be fun to invite his best friend and his wife to join us for a few days of the honeymoon. His best friend, Dan, and Dan's wife, Sophie, are good friends of ours, sure, but I was completely caught off guard by this suggestion. Who in their right mind invites other people on their honeymoon? I told him right away that I wasn't comfortable with the idea. This was supposed to be our time, our trip. We'd planned for it to be romantic, intimate, and just us. I didn't want to spend my honeymoon double dating or socializing when this was the one time in our lives we should be focusing entirely on each other. M brushed it off at first, saying it was just an idea, but as the days went by, he kept bringing it up. He said it would make the trip more fun and that he didn't want the honeymoon to be boring. Boring. That word stuck with me. I couldn't believe he thought spending time alone with me on a tropical island would be boring. But I let it slide, figuring maybe he was just anxious about the trip or overthinking things. I thought I made it crystal clear that I wasn't okay with him coming. I really thought I had put my foot down. So imagine my shock when we get to the resort. This gorgeous, dreamy place we'd both been so excited about. And there, in the hotel lobby, waiting for us, were Dan and Sophie. I froze. My heart dropped into my stomach. I was trying to make sense of what I was seeing. Why were they there? Did they just happen to book the same place? But then M, with this big grin on his face, turned to me and said, "Surprise." I invited them to join us for part of the trip, as if it was some kind of wonderful gift he had just given me. I couldn't even speak. I just stared at him, then at Dan and Sophie, who were all smiles like this was the greatest plan ever. Meanwhile, I felt like crying. I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask him why he thought this was okay when I had told him multiple times that I didn't want to share our honeymoon with anyone. But I didn't want to make a scene in front of our friends. So I smiled and hugged them, pretending everything was fine. Inside, though, I was fuming. That set the tone for the rest of the trip. We ended up doing almost everything together with Dan and Sophie. Every meal was a double date, every activity was a group activity, and there was zero alone time for just me and M. There were so many times when I tried to subtly hint that we should spend time alone, but every time I did, M would brush me off. He'd say things like, "We'll get our alone time later," or "We can do something together next time." But that time never came. Even at night, instead of cuddling and talking like newlyweds, he wanted to hang out with Dan in the hotel bar, leaving me alone in our room. I tried to make the best of it. I kept telling myself that I didn't want to ruin the mood or seem ungrateful. But honestly, I felt invisible. It didn't feel like a honeymoon anymore. It felt like a random group vacation. Then on the last day of the trip, I finally broke down. We were all at dinner, and Dan and Sophie started talking about how we should plan another trip together soon. I just couldn't take it anymore. I blurted out, "Maybe next time, M, and I can actually have a vacation, just the two of us," in this sarcastic tone that I didn't even mean to use. Everyone went quiet, and I could feel him glaring at me, but I didn't care. That night, back in our room, I confronted him. I told him that I felt like he had ruined our honeymoon by inviting them, and that he hadn't respected my feelings at all. Instead of apologizing, M got defensive. He said I was overreacting, that it wasn't a big deal, and that I should be happy we got to go on a trip at all. He even had the nerve to say, "We can always have another trip. It's not like this is the only vacation we'll ever go on." But that's not the point. This was supposed to be our honeymoon. It wasn't just any other vacation. It was meant to be special. I told him all of this, but he just shrugged it off and went to bed, leaving me feeling even more hurt and unheard. Now that we're back home, things are still tense. He keeps acting like I'm being unreasonable, and I don't know how to get through to him. I've tried explaining that it wasn't just about the trip itself, but about the fact that he didn't listen to me or respect my boundaries. But he keeps saying I'm blowing things out of proportion. So, Reddit, AITA for telling my husband he ruined our honeymoon? Should I have just sucked it up and gone along with it? Or am I right to feel like my feelings were completely disregarded?